The literary park Francesco Petrarca and the Euganean Hills embraces an area of about 20,000 hectares in the south province of Padua and 50 kilometers from Venice. The park have inspired and stimulated the senses of writers from every era. The Colli Euganei, Euganean Hills, are a group of 104 hills of an average height between 300 and 600 meters, surrounded by a perfectly flat agricultural plain. The name Euganei is reminiscent of an old population settled in this area in the 12th century before Christ. The following selective erosions of millions of years has produced a rugged and varied landscape. Conical but also sweet and round shapes with an amazing variety of vegetation. Old oaks and chestnut woods, orchids, brooms, cactus and Mediterranean vegetation, and vineyards which covered a great part of Terrace's hillsides. You can explore the area by car, on foot or by bike. You have a large choice in routes and paths. Such a peculiar landscape inspired the English 19th century poet Percy Shelley. In his lines written among the Euganean hills, he compares the hill to islands in bloom in the deep, wide sea. Why not indulge yourself in one of the wellness spa hotels, relaxing and reading the poetical descriptions of the Euganean hills? Doesn't matter if they are real or transfigurated by literary suggestion. At your disposal, relaxing and revitalizing massages, not only anti-stress but also with therapeutic purposes thanks to the beneficial effects of the mud, a mixture of clay ripened in thermal water. Fungotherapy involves 4 basic steps: the application of the mud, the thermal water bath, the sweet reaction, and the tonifying massage. Essential part of the mud, the water comes from the foothills of the Alps, flows into the subsoils at a depth of approximately 2,000–3,000 meters and arrives in the hills area at a temperature of 87 degrees. This spa hot water is used for the mud, for the aerosol therapies, and for heating the water of the swimming pools. Epsilon-40 is the deepest pool in the world, plunging to 40 meters below the surface, it is devoted to diving professionals and amateurs. The volume characteristics are impressive: 4.3 million liters of thermal water. From the Renaissance, wealthy and noble Venetian families started to build their summer residences in the countryside. Outstanding villas surrounded by nature became favorite holiday resorts, as a status symbol of their splendor and social life. Connected by rivers and canals with Venice, noblemen could reach by boat their land properties and arrive comfortably in front of their villas. You can find majestic examples of Renaissance villas inspired by the ancient architecture. The villas have excellent locations, embraced by the hills in continuous dialogue between nature and architecture. Interiors are decorated by frescoes celebrating the glory of the ancestors with mythological settings, but above all, the beauty of exterior landscapes. The peace and tranquility of these places have attracted in the past many religious orders, such as the Benedictine monks, who still welcome visitors to their abbey. Thanks to their strategic position, the hills have always had the important role of controlling and defending the territory. That's why you can still discover the story of medieval walled cities with their watchtowers and castles. Here, important Italian dynasties developed and became patrons of arts and literature. More recently, in the 19th century, English poets as George Byron and Percy Shelley spent some time here looking for inspiration. In Monselice, you can visit an imposing medieval castle near private Renaissance villas with magnificent gardens. But also you can experience a singular journey of faith walking to the Jubilee votive route of the seven churches. There are many ways to explore the territory. By boat, you'll have the chance to listen to the memories of old sailors and fishermen, witnesses of ancient traditions. If you like biking, there is a bike tour around the feet of the hills. Nearly 65 kilometers along canals on quiet lanes, a green way to experience the area and to discover the landscapes that gave inspiration and rhythm to many poems and sonnets. Parco Petrarca is nestled on a hill, a small picturesque medieval village made of stone, where you can feel the magical atmosphere of the past. The village derives its name from Francesco Petrarca, one of the most important poets of the 14th century. He is considered one of the fathers of humanism. Arquà hosts many memories of the poet, such as the house where he lived the last years of his life and the monumental tomb where he is buried. While you are exploring the territory, take the chance to stop and read one of the literary plaques around the park. Actors in costume help to recreate a magical atmosphere of the past. Not only literature attracts our attention, it is time to taste the excellence of local and peculiar products. Thanks to a very mild climate, there is an excellent production of olive oil to taste directly on the fresh homemade bread. You can taste the best local and genuine food in historic restaurants. All the products are from the local farms and cooked according to the tradition. Typical dishes, such as lasagne or risotto, are accompanied by prestigious wines. There are 13 varieties granted by the Denomination of Controlled Origin (DOC). International wines such as Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon, local typical sparkling wines such as Serprino or Moscato Fior d'Arancio. Prestigious wineries where the wood wine barrels give aroma and flavor to the wines.